Day 5. It's day 5.
It's day 5, YouTube. Come on in the room. It is day 5 of the Yummy Challenge. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. It is day 5. Hi, Taylor. Hi, Roxy. Hi, Noko. Come on in the room.
Hi. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Come on
It's
in the room.
day 5. Day 5, everybody. So good to see you. I see y'all rolling in.
Hey, Taya.
Come on in. Come on in.
Come on in the room, everybody. Hi, Toby. Hi, Taya. Our sisters are making it in the room for the Yummy Challenge. Come on in. It is day 5, everybody.
How has this week been for everybody? Hey, girl. Hey, Taya.
How has it been for everybody? Take yourself on mute and let YouTube know how you been. How has the challenge been to you? Put your cameras on so we can see what you look like over there. Come on in the room, everybody.
Roxy, you unmuted yourself. Talk to us.
It's going. I didn't make all of it, all of your sessions. However, the one that I did make was amazing. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, sis. And you know, all of the recordings from this week, ladies, are on our Crystal and Dr. Nicole YouTube page. So make sure that you check that out. Ariana just dropped the link in the chat. You can go there and watch days 1 through 4. Today will be in there shortly after we finish. And just while you're there, like, share, and subscribe, ladies. And check out the Yummy Podcast if you haven't already.
It's going to bless your life.
It's even more yumminess.
It's going to bless your life. We got some more sisters coming in, so we want to let them in. And we want to thank you for the days that you were present.
Yes, yes.
Let's focus on that. The days that you were present are going to be meaningful, and you are here today. So look at that.
Yes.
That's Crystal.
That's my crazy dog. He's having a yummy moment. Trevor.
Y'all, he cannot see any other dogs or any other humans that he think is going to bother his mom.
Some love today. Y'all get to see Trevor.
This is Trevor Noah.
Hey, Cerise. Yeah,
hey, Cerise. Hey, Terica. This is Trevor Noah. And my dog is Nelson Mandela. Do you see the love to the continent? It's just craziness going on here. So shout out to everybody. Come on in the room. Thank you for the heart.
So, ladies, each day this week, we have tackled a yummy topic aimed at helping us all find our ultimate most meaningful yet, because that is what the acronym of YUMMY stands for. Your ultimate most meaningful yet. Does anybody remember what the acronym YUCKY stands for? Anybody?
Anybody got it in your notes? What does YUCKY stand for?
Type it in the chat or unmute yourself. Anybody remember what YUCKY stands for?
That one is new. That one is new. So let's see if you got it in your notes. If you like me, you scrambling. Like, I put it somewhere. Where is it?
Yucky says, you understand comfort kills you.
Yes. Comfort. Very close. You understand comfort's killing you.
Yes, Kanisha. Good job. Good job. Isn't it revolutionary when you think about that? Because we say comfort zone like it's comfortable, but it's really not.
Yeah.
It's familiar. And if you're not growing, you're dying, ladies. If you're not growing, you're dying. You ever see anything that's not growing, even a plant? Anything that's not growing and is thriving? No, every single day it grows a little bit. So if you're not growing, you're dying. So we don't want to live yucky, right? So every day we have tackled a different yummy topic. We've talked about your calling and your purpose.
Yeah.
We've talked about self-compassion, talking nicer to ourselves. Pastor Casey, Reverend Dr. Pastor Casey, really blessed us to help us realize that, sometimes we are meaner, and our tone and delivery and the way that we talk to ourselves is just terrible. And we really have to have some self-compassion and be kinder to ourselves, be our own best friend.
Yes.
We've talked about yummy relationships, right? Boundaries, setting boundaries. Remember the example and the analogy of I-285 here in Atlanta going around and around, but you need solid lines, you need dotted lines, you need retaining walls, and you need exit ramps. And most of all, you need enforcement. You need enforcement. So we talked about that. And then yesterday,
wait, before that, we even talked about more. I mean, it's just been so yummy. We talked about negotiated agreements.
Yes.
Remember that? What kind of agreements are you in? Do they need to be renegotiated? What does the fine print say? Right? Have you gotten into some of these agreements by default?
Yeah.
And now it's not working for you, but you haven't renegotiated. So we've even talked about that.
Yes,
oh my
yes,
gosh,
yes.
So good.
And then yesterday, the amazing Coach Sandy joined us from New York, and she blessed us, right, to talk about self-care. And that self-care is not negotiable, and what we need to do. How do we need to care for ourselves? Just amazing. So today we want to talk about Yummy Next. For our tribe, this is going to be a reminder. For the new ladies, this is going to be a revelation of our Yummy methodology. For those of you who've been rocking with us for a minute, what are the 3 steps of the Yummy methodology? Anybody know? Cerise may know.
It's possible.
Terica may know. Unmute yourself, put it in the chat. What are the 3 steps?
First step.
Second step, third step. Yummy methodology.
First step, I can give you a cheat. Starts with an L. What's that?
Liberation, Terica. Yes. Liberation. Hey, Nicole.
Hey there.
What's step 2? What's step 2? Activation.
Activation.
Yes. Gold star for Terica. And everybody else, write this down in your notebook. Liberation, activation, and acceleration.
It's going to change your life. It is the Yummy method that is going to help you experience the yummy right here. Now, as Christians, we talk about what happens after the transition. But you know what? We want some yummy right here. And that is supported by our faith. Yummy right here. So how do we do it? Liberation, activation, acceleration. And we're going to share with you what that means, because everything that we do in our tribe focuses on these areas. Why? Because we believe free women. And freedom is exceptionally important. It's extremely important. It's significantly important. It's critically important. So helping us to figure out how to be free of the past, free of anything that is binding us, anything that's holding us back, anything that's holding us down, pressing us down, so that we can move and do what needs to be done in service, humility, and excellence, is why we focus on this Yummy method.
Yeah. So let's talk about liberation a little bit, ladies. Because before you become truly liberated in your mind, you may feel a little overwhelmed. You may feel like, a lot of times we feel like, I know there's something more for me. I just don't know what. And for me personally, it was like this, I've achieved a lot of great things, and I don't want to be ungrateful, God. I've got a lot to be grateful for, but I feel like there is something more, like you are calling me for something more. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever had that feeling. feel like there's something more. I see
Thank
you,
you,
Taya.
Taya.
I see you, LaShonda,
LaShonda,
Akila.
Nisha,
Yes,
Sheila,
yes,
Chanel, Toby, Judy,
yes, yes,
Carmelita, yes. Roxy, Anoko, Janita, yes, 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 yes.
The before we're truly liberated in each stage, each new level we go through, a new liberation is required. But when we're in that liberation stage, that's what we typically would call the comfort zone, that we all know now is not that comfortable. It's familiar. It's you've been in that job for all these years. It's what you know. You know it like the back of your hand. You've been doing it. You're not really happy. You're just there. Or you're in that relationship that it just is what it is. You're just there. If you've ever experienced that, put a 2 in the chat. Where you feel like, it's not the worst. I see you, Shalonda. Hello. Right? But it's got to be more. Yes, I see you. I see you. I see you.
And often, what we say,
pack of cigarettes. Inoko, what is a pack of cigarettes?
He's funny. So one of the things that we say is we believe our purpose is to help women unbind and unleash their ultimate potential in business and relationships. And when we think about what keeps us bound, often there are things that we've inherited, right? Talk to us about some of the things that have formed limiting beliefs in our lives. What are some of the things that forms those limiting beliefs in our lives? Let me read what's in here. For me personally, I made a misstep and had been unable to let go of and treat me right. This week has showed me how much I've been pushing myself. Thank you.
Punishing myself.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for
thank
that,
you,
Shalonda. Ooh.
Carmelita, yes, childhood trauma
Yeah.
forms limiting beliefs.
Upbringing, Toby.
Upbringing.
What else? What are some of the things? Because psychologists say by the age of 6, we've already started to form our belief system.
Fear of making mistakes and
childhood trauma, yes.
Fear of showing up, toxic family relationships.
Religion, that's a big one. Experiences, absolutely. What about even the area where you grew up?
Ignoring warning signs, societal norms, the unknown, and being afraid I won't succeed.
My dad's voice in my head. Oh, Shalonda, you are bringing it today. Yes.
Imposter syndrome, trust issues. All of these things form where our mind is often set and those limiting beliefs. And
it can be so, it's really about the situation that we came up in, even down to where you grew up, whether you grew up in the North or the South, whether you grew up in the city or the country, whether you grew up around family or without family at all. All of those things that influenced you as a child, trust issues, Aaron, yes. And I saw somebody say trauma that happened to us as children, right? So when oh my God. So when all of those things in our subconscious mind, they live there. They live in our subconscious mind from the way that we were raised and the influence from the people that raised us and the traumas and all of the things we experienced as children. When the way that we live today is in alignment with the belief system that has been created by those things. Yeah. When X equals X and they're in alignment, that's what we call our comfort zone. But we know comfort's not comfortable. It's just familiar, right? It's not comfortable. It's just familiar. I wasn't able to pull up we're going to try and pull up a screen for you all. Can you all see her screen?
Can you see it?
Can you see it now? Can y'all see the screen?
It's just loading right now. Okay, now we can.
Now you can see it.
Awesome.
Perfect. So you see this yellow circle down here? Can y'all see that?
The yellow circle?
So the belief system is what we're talking about. This is your subconscious mind. And the way that we live is this top part of the brain, which is our conscious mind. And if we give each one of them an equation of X, when X equals X, that's when we say we're in our comfort zone. But what it is it's really just familiar to us. Now, what happens is this week you've been learning a lot of new things. Like Shalonda said, I'm realizing how I've been beating myself up, right? Punishing myself. I'm realizing that there's some different options. I don't have to talk to myself the way that I do. I can rewire my brain to be kinder to me, right? So when we learn new things, what happens is we have a new idea. That new idea is why. That new information that you've learned is why. New input, why. But your belief system is still the same.
I was thinking the other day, ladies, I teach at Spelman. I teach one class. And I was thinking about the students going home for the holidays and how this circle shows up with their families when they're freshmen. They've learned all of these things at school. And from learning these things, they've got these new ideas, right? That are coming into the conversation, but their family is still in that X, right? Their family still has that belief system. And when they come home and they're like, so, I learned this. And they've got political views now, and they've got views about self-care now, and they've had these courses and these experiences, and their critical thinking is starting to shift, right? And their family is like, but wait a minute, when you left 6 months ago, you weren't thinking like that. Hold on, you're pushing against what we believe. You're having these new ideas, and guess what? Sometimes they are so vigilant and so risk averse and so rigid that it pushes you in the form of sabotage, right? So these students are not going back with these new ideas, and their family is like, oh no, you don't come in here acting all grown because you're pushing against our belief system.
Yeah.
Doesn't that happen with us as women, as business owners, as bosses, as team contributors, where we have a new idea? And sometimes those who are surrounding us, they're like, wait a minute, this new idea is challenging our belief system. So maybe they sabotage, but you want to know the greatest sabotage? What about when you come against the new idea really taking root?
And it's almost like that belief system is like autopilot, right? Anybody ever been on an airplane? Right? Do you know most of the time you're on that airplane is on autopilot. The pilots get in there, they plug in where it's going, and it knows what altitude to fly at. It knows the direction. It's on autopilot. If anything happens to take the plane to a higher altitude or a lower altitude, right? Maybe they hit an air pocket. Then the plane starts to do what it needs to do. Those wings the stuff starts moving, and it will automatically bring the plane back where it's supposed to be. That's what our belief system does, ladies. When we learn new things, we have new ideas, that belief system kicks in as sabotage. And it says, you don't know nothing about that, Judy. Who gonna listen to you? Girl, Cerise, the grass ain't always green on the other side. You sure you want to take that leap? Taya, listen, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. You might not want to. All those things we learn from our parents, all those things that we learn from our circle of influence, like, I don't know, you sure you want to make that level of investment? You don't know if that contract you got, if you're gonna get that money, you don't know if this. self-sabotage starts to kick in and try to bring you back to the familiar zone. It tries to suck you right back in to this box down here that you've already left. It brings you back to the familiar zone. But what helps to overcome that, what helps to create change, is taking action, which was step 2, right? So over here, learning is the liberation. That's step 1. Making a change and a transformation is by taking action. You've got to push past your own sabotage, push past the sabotage of others. You've got to try. Sometimes we fail, we get back up. We might fall 7, we get back up 8.
Yeah. And it makes a difference, because when we make those changes, if we just hold tight to all of the self-conversation and all of the other conversations that are trying to push you back, what happens is those new ideas start to sink into your beliefs. Those new ideas, those little whys, we call them, start to sink into what you believe. And now something new happens. Now you're starting to think different, and you're not pushing back to the familiar as quickly. You're seeing some progress. You've experienced some changes, and now you are XY. Now those new ideas have sunken into the belief system, and you're actually thinking different. This might actually work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But then something happens, right? Then God, in all his infinite wisdom, says, if this is really what you want, what are you prepared to sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
What are you prepared to sacrifice for this next level? And something is required of you. It may be to actually take the leap. For me, when I said to God, standing on the top of Table Mountain 9 years ago, Lord, I want to travel this world, serve your people without worrying about resources. He said, okay. Well, some things you got to do. I came back, I got to work, I started investing in myself. I realized, while I had a great job, I loved the people that I work with, it wasn't fulfilling me.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, I'm going to start this business. But then I'm working full time. I'm doing my business on the side, and I could feel the satisfaction of serving others in my own business.
Yeah.
And then it became time for the sacrifice. It's time to leave that job. It's time to take a leap. I said, oh, Lord.
Right.
Okay. But God, they pay me every 2 weeks. I feel like I'm in a cage, but it's a golden cage. They bring me premium food.
Yep.
I drink bottled water. I got a swing. I got feathers. My cage is cute. It's a cage. And every time I try and spread my wings, I hit up against the cage, but it's familiar. I see you, Kanisha.
That's my
it's
major
familiar.
concern.
And I know that you're telling me to take the leap and the door is open, but can I feed myself? Will I be able to feed myself?
Will I be able to do all of the things that I'm used to doing?
Yeah.
Will I be able to stand in front of folks who are looking at me and saying, you made the dumbest decision? I would give anything to have your circumstance, and really know that that's what I was supposed to do.
Oh, people said to me,
Yeah.
have you saved enough money? You sure this gonna work? Businesses most businesses fail in 5 years. And are you sure you got a pretty nice position? You're primed for the next level. Is this what? And I was like, but I knew what I was being called for. I knew what was in my heart. I knew what I heard. I knew what I asked God for, right? And I was like, Lord, am I going to be able to do it? And he said, oh, you've been doing that?
Put a 1 in the chat if you recognize whenever you are in just, oh, with fear, that the word I comes forward more times than you could even count. Put a one in the chat. How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to feed my kids? How am I going to explain my decision? How am I going to show up with this change and people please at the same time?
Yeah. Yeah.
How am I going to meet everybody's expectations? I.
And y'all know what I realized too was while I'm sitting here saying, but God, they feed me every 2 weeks, that check come in and they take good care of me. And he said, you're so cute. Oh, you think that job is your source.
They're taking care of you.
You think they're taking care of you. You haven't realized I'm the source. They are a resource. I see you, Shalonda. Yes, who gave you the job? That job is a resource. I am your source. I have been taking care of you. I just use them to do it. But I can use any source because I own the table. I can send resources from across the world. I can send checks you wasn't even expecting to come in the mail. Put a 2 in the chat if you've ever received an unexpected resource that reminded you who the source was.
Put a 2. And here's the thing that I love, sis. Often when we are being asked to make a sacrifice, we think of it like, but if I close this door, or if I walk out this door, or if I make this shift, what am I going to do? Like, what am I going to do? Here's the thing, ladies. Who makes the doors? Who owns the trees? Every door is made by the singular source.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Right? Every single door. Even some of us are like, God, open the door. If you open the door, I'll walk into it. If you just open it. And God said, well, why don't you just walk towards the door? But it's closed. I know that. Walk towards the door. But I don't want to walk into a closed door. And he's like, you do it every time you go to the Kroger. Every time you go to a grocery store, you walk towards a closed door and you expect it to open when you get to a certain point. Everybody should say amen on that.
Woo!
Everybody should say amen on that. Because you walk to that grocery store and you walk up to the door and you expect that door to open.
You just keep on walking.
You just keep on walking, expecting it to open. And if by chance it's malfunction, you start pressing stuff because you expect it to open.
Because your expectation is that the door is broken if it's not open.
If it's not opening.
Right?
It's like, but with me, who gives you breath every day? I gave you that job. I brought you through illness. I helped you with the resources you prayed for. You done prayed so many things. I blessed you and you forgot what you prayed for. I'm keeping track of your prayers, but you're going to say to me, well, the door ain't quite open yet, so I'm just going to stand over here. You're asking me to make a sacrifice, which is to have faith that you are where I need you to be because you know my future. You know my past. You know my present. You have the record of everything that I've experienced and have not experienced yet. You've recorded all my prayers. Sometimes you answer a prayer and I'm like, oh, that's amazing. He's like, you prayed for that 7 years ago, 6 minutes ago, 12 seconds ago. You've forgotten, but I just answered it.
Because I am.
Because I am. Singular source, period.
I am. And these are resources. And he will, when we hit this angry cloud right here, lady, that's when you feel like you are walking a tightrope with no net. You're like, Lord, I don't know. I know you told me, you said, come, and I am walking on this water.
Yes.
And I don't know how I'm walking on water. I don't know where the money is coming from. I don't know where the resources are coming from. I don't know how you're going to turn the no into a yes. I don't know how you're going to open up the doors, but I just trust that you will. And I'm going to keep walking, right?
But I don't see it.
Mm.
You don't see what? I don't see what I need to see to say yes to me or to anybody else. I need to see. You know what God said one time, sis? And I've said this in this challenge. I wear glasses. So one day I had to realize, now, Nicole, without your glasses, your vision is limited. Without your glasses. With your glasses, you have help with your vision. But if you put something over the lens, you're limited again. And I was like, well, what does that mean in the spirit? God is like, Nicole, don't trust your eyes. Don't trust what you can see. And I'm like, well, then what? He said, trust who I am. Because what you can see, even with glasses, is limited because I'm still a mystery and I'm still doing for you in ways you cannot even fathom. Even with glasses, you got about 3% vision on what's really going on. So if you take it away from the resources, I need more resources, but you told me to do X. I can't feed myself. You're right. You can't feed yourself, but you ain't never fed yourself.
And when you trust God, like you trust that those doors are going to open at Kroger, and you just keep walking. You show up at those appointments. You show up for those job interviews. You show up at those networking events. You show up at whatever thing that you've been invited to, those things where you be like, Lord, I don't even want to get out of the bed. I don't want to go. I don't feel like it. Anybody put one in the chat if you've ever had something you like, I just don't feel like it today. But then you show up and you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I went. Oh my God, I met this person or I did this. I was like fighting myself. I didn't want to go. When you show up like you expect God to be God
and be there,
life changes. But see, what happens, ladies, is most of us, we start in our familiar zone. We learn something new. We like, oh, that's great. I went to the Yummy Challenge this week. It was amazing. I'm going to change the way I do things, right? We start going down the path. We hit a snag. And then we're like, I'm going to just go on back over here to what's familiar. Next thing you know, you back talking to yourself crazy. You're back in your routine, not taking care of yourself. And we've seen all of us put yes, and all hell breaks loose. Yes, Chanel. How many of you know people, not you, but you know some folks in your life that have been in this cycle their whole life?
They keep going.
They at a job they can't stand. They in a relationship where they unhappy. They can't lose weight. They are, just constantly unhappy. Put a 2 in the chat if you know somebody, not you. Right? You know some folks that's been in this cycle their entire life. That's why it said that the graveyard is the richest place because it's full of I wish I coulda, I wish I woulda, I shoulda, all the potential that people left on the table. I don't know about y'all, but when I leave this earth, I want God to say, well done, my good and faithful servant. You didn't leave anything on the table. You did something with everything I gave you. You took all the opportunities. You even took some that you wasn't supposed to take, right? You was trying though. You showed up.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy, sis? Often we think going back to familiar is free. Some of you, that just hit you. It doesn't have a cost. I'm just going to go back. It doesn't have a cost. Well, because the enemy is real, it does have a cost. And here's often the cost. So you got an offer to buy a piece of land. You decided, because nobody in your family has ever bought a piece of land. Nobody has ever been a landowner. Nobody has ever been a household owner. That's not where you come from. I am a living witness to that. My parents came over here as immigrants. My father's family, they all lived in an apartment complex. They knew who was cooking on what day, who was picking up the kids from school. They had a well-oiled machine. They had a well-oiled system. Nobody had ever had a house. My mom decided Nicole needs to be in a yard. Let me try to see what this house conversation is. She didn't have any support because everybody lived in Brooklyn in an apartment building. When she learned the idea that homeownership could be possible, she was scared half to death. She connected with a resource that said, let me introduce you to my realtor. And just start looking around and see what may be possible. Just start looking around. Looked around, and the realtor then finally said, Pearl, I think we found your house. Like, we found the house for you. You're gonna have to put down earnest money, is what they used to call it. Earnest money, your down payment. My mother was so frozen, because nobody had ever done that in our family before. When she did, and she finally got the house, closed on the house, her and my dad, it's like, okay, we're homeowners now. What then happened was everybody else in the family got the understanding that they could be homeowners too, because she opened up an access road that said we can do something we have not ever done before, and it can work for us. But let's talk about when you see that same scenario and you're like, nah, I heard you got to pay taxes too. I ain't gonna be able to afford that. And I heard people losing their houses left and right. Foreclosure rates are out. Nah, what if the realtor take my money? You know what the enemy then does? Lets you come right back to that house and recognize all those homeowners in that area where you found your house. They now have equity in those houses, and the houses are going for more than what they were before.
Oh, it's that you just made me remind me of a song Jay-Z did about somebody presented him with an offer to buy a building in Dumbo, New York. But he was he was all about jewelry and stuff like that, the flashy stuff. His limited belief system didn't it kept him held back from investing in real estate because he couldn't see it. And he's like, now that property is worth all this money. He's like, now I'm the Dumbo. I could have had property in Dumbo, right? Yeah. So it's so powerful what you said. It's true.
The enemy will show you through condemnation that going back to the familiar, though he invites you to come back to the familiar so that he can show you what you missed. Because we have a understanding in our tribe. Truly, if God brings you to it, he'll bring you through it. He is the singular source. So if he's giving you a new idea and he's supporting you in this new idea, most people, what they regret is not taking a risk. That is usually their fundamental regret, is that, they offered me to buy that house from the people who owned it. The people who owned it came to me and said, I'll sell it to you. And I made all the reasons why it would not go right, instead of focusing on God and saying, if you brought me to it, I want everything that you've got for me. And I need for you to care for this transaction. And I need for you to care for my fear. I'm going to submit and surrender my fear to you so that I can push to the next.
Yeah.
Because it's going to take a press. That's why it's called a sacrifice.
Yes. And what happens is when we push through and we make that sacrifice, then the new idea why becomes our new belief system.
Yes.
So what happens is with Nicole's family, after her mom bought the house, then all the rest of the family came in and bought houses. Then her mom became an investment property owner. right? So now
She own houses
now
and
she
land.
own houses and
And
land.
land.
So it's now every time, every new level, we start all over again, because now the new belief system is that I can buy a house. Now she's got to go through that entire cycle again to become an investment property owner, because you don't know anything about that yet, right?
Yeah.
So every new level, you go through the cycle again. And guess what? The higher you go, the more terrifying the terror barrier. The higher you go, the more you have to sacrifice, because you have more to lose. So the people who you see as successful, people who have achieved great things, made a lot of money, broken records, all those things, it's because they are willing to stand on sacrifice.
Yeah.
Every single day. You hear people talking about I stand on business. They stand on sacrifice. Mm-hmm. They take chances. We were just listening to Miss Oprah Winfrey this week talk about producing The Color Purple, and how when she sat down with Warner Brothers, they were like, there's a lot of mountains to climb to make this possible. A whole lot. And for this to be successful, a whole lot of things have got to line up.
And she said to them, I believe we can get at least 1,000 leaders.
1,000 Black leaders.
Black leaders to support this effort of making The Color Purple successful. Y'all, we were just on a call 2 nights ago where 66,000 leaders were on this call talking about getting The Color Purple seen on Christmas Day, seen the day after Christmas.
It was mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing.
She was in tears.
She was
Oprah was in tears because, see, we all think, oh, she's got money.
Right.
But making this movie was a huge sacrifice for her. They spent $90 million? Huge sacrifice. And if it fails, what does that mean? Not only for her producer, The Color Purple, the actors, but what does it mean for those coming behind her that's not billionaires, that are not able to sit at the table with Warner Brothers?
All Black cast that's not on a $2 million budget.
You on that call?
Yes, not on a $2 million budget, not on a 27-cent budget, right? So what happens is that's the change, right? The change is that we could have a blockbuster film with a real Hollywood budget that is successful, not only in our community, but successful globally, successful with our families, successful with our emotional health. We can do this, but we're gonna have to do it to do it.
And it's a game changer.
It's a game changer. She understands that success is not a solo act. I love that.
Yes, yes. So ladies, real quick, time check. It's 12:42. What are some ahas and takeaways from what we've discussed so far? Next level yummy conversation. Unmute yourself or put it in the chat.
This is Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi. For me, it was when I got on and you immediately were talking about pushing past the self-sabotage. I arrived late, but I came on at that point.
Right on time.
And I'm like, that's it. And I saw the graphic. That's it. It's the self-sabotage. It's the why can't I do this? What am I doing wrong? I can't accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kelly. That self-sabotage is a booger wooger. It's a booger wooger.
Who else?
Who else?
Who else can speak to ahas takeaways? The place of comfort is not comfortable. It's familiar. And there is always a cost.
Yes, Sierra, absolutely.
Because change is an invitation. You either take it with resistance or you take it without resistance. But if God is calling you to do something different, good luck.
Oh, yeah, Toby, the enemy invites us back to familiarity. Absolutely.
Yeah. And reminds us the risk and the change that we cast up.
And then taunts us for staying there.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
It's your fault. And the minute we want to leave, he tries to taunt us with what's going to happen if we make a move.
Yes.
It's just a cycle that you have to break through. Put another aha.
Or unmute yourself.
Or unmute yourself and tell us a aha. Just keep walking and moving forward. Bank on me. You are the guarantee. Shalonda,
you are the guarantee.
Bank on you because you are the guarantee. You're the guarantee that you've been looking for.
You are a guaranteed return on investment.
Indeed. Comfort is comfortable.
Isn't
comfortable. It's familiar. Like I said, I don't like feeling like I've lost control, but on some level, that has to happen for me to move to the next level.
Ooh, yes.
That surrender.
Huge revelation.
That vulnerability, that submission. It's a gift. It's a gift. We've been thinking different, but it's a gift.
You know, I want to hear from Judy. Judy, and as soon as I called her out, she took her screen off. Judy. Talk to me, Miss Judy.
Well, first of all, this is my first day at home. I've been at work the other day, so I couldn't talk, but I was actually typing, and that's why I actually accidentally hit the stop video. But my thing is, God is the source, and we can't be focusing on the resources.
Yeah, he's the source.
Yeah, and when we focus on him, everything falls in place.
Do you know how many things Crystal and I have stopped engaging in the how? How is it going to happen? How is it going to get done? How you going to do it? How we going to do it? We've just stopped and said, you know what? The how is not really our business.
The who is.
The who is. When we did the International Slumber Party, you guys, we were thinking the International Slumber Party would be New York, US, Canada. We both from New York. So it's going to be US and Canada. When it hit 39 countries, we were like, we've not been to 39 countries. And God was like, you think that's it? Did that wow you? We were like, yes, we are wowed and in awe. He was like, blink, 100 countries. We were like, what 100 countries? He's like, when you take the limits off of me in your mind, I'll show you the mystery. Remove the responsibility from yourself. Give me the how and focus on who I am and our relationship and watch what happens. Ooh. That's how we got 100 countries. People be like, how? We be like, Jesus.
Yeah. And I see LaQuanda said, I'm scared to go to the car dealership today because I don't think I'm going to get approved due to some financial challenges I've experienced, but I'm keeping the appointment with an open mind and faith. LaQuanda, what would happen if you change your mind to believe, you change the dial to say, I'm going to this car dealership to get my car. When I get there, that door gonna open just like at Kroger's. It's gonna open. God is gonna do what he does because he is the source.
And I'm not stealing the car. Once you give me my yes, I'm gonna pay for the car.
Yes.
My God made all things. And he makes all things possible. And he makes it all work for the good. So he can't give me a car.
And money is not the only currency.
Amen.
So don't worry about that financial resources.
Just go get your car.
Go get your car.
Go get your car.
Like Crystal said, show up like you expect God to be God. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Honey.
Woo. And Shalonda said, my devotional today spoke of God's majestic mystery. This yummy was confirmation of higher expectation of resources. I love it.
Go up there like you go to Kroger.
Yes.
Expect that door to open.
Yes.
And we want to hear about it too.
Yes.
Because we love testimonies.
Yes,
in our
we
tribe.
do.
We want to hear about it. Go get what's yours.
Go get it.
Go get that car.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
With Dr. Nicole, and I said over 20. And I thought of every reason why I couldn't. She said, God only needs one.
I will. Oh, I love it. I love it. Believe God. So ladies, this has been amazing. And we really want to we really want to welcome those of you who are new to our community. We want to thank our sisters in our community.
Yes.
If you are in the Sister Diamonds Collective or the Yummy membership, put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. These ladies have been, yes, I see you, Toby, Kelly, Bridget, yes, LaQuanda tonight.
And here's the
Serica.
thing. If the experience has exceeded your expectations and been an answer to prayer, put a 2 in the chat.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Kelly,
Thank you,
Toby.
Kelly.
Ladies, thank you. We appreciate y'all. Oh, yes. Y'all are touching our hearts because this is what we do.
Yeah.
We believe in community.
Yes.
Dr. Nicole and I came together in collectivism and illumination, coming together to shine our light. And that's what our communities are about.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are new, can we talk to you and share what our Yummy membership looks like? So we would love to invite you into our community. Put a 3 in the chat if it's okay to share. All right.
Thank you, Chanel. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Judy.
So we're not going to take much time. We're going to show y'all real quick. Can y'all see our screen? Can y'all see? Yes. Can y'all see that picture of us laughing? Like, can y'all see that?
We cute, y'all.
Yeah.
Kelly
Listen,
said,
I say all the time, girl, we cute. Because
We
we
gotta
be
tell
living our best
ourselves.
life. We be living our best life, loving what we doing.
yeah.
Hey, can I dip in there and say this really quick since I didn't give all of my ahas? You guys are cute. I tried to watch that podcast yesterday and I was just too focused on the outfits. I had to watch it like 10 times because I'm looking at the shoes, the clothes, the hair, the lipstick. And I was like, okay, go back to the word. But y'all girls are fly now. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Fly girls right here.
We love you so much because it's taken so much to get here.
Ooh.
God,
Say that again.
it has taken so much to get here to say it don't matter. We here.
We here.
We here. We are the Phoenix rising. We are eagles. We are here. And we got a whole tribe with us. That's like, you know what? Free women, free women. And people will ask us, what is it? We like, it ain't the wigs, it ain't the braids, it ain't the clothes, it ain't the shoes. It's freedom.
Yeah.
And the community.
And true love for one another and for what we do.
Yes.
It's game changing.
And those in our tribe, they know we hug a lot, we laugh a lot. With them, we want to hug on folk and we want to experience what we were looking for and could not find, so we built it.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. And thank you, Shalonda. And just high level, ladies, our Yummy membership we created last year because we've got a couple of different groups and membership groups that we serve. And the Yummy membership is our entry point. It's our entry level point. And we've grown it with feedback from our tribe, but it is basically coaching in community. It's not just you go to a portal and watch a bunch of videos or download stuff and that's it. So do it yourself. We really have done a lot of work so that you are able to build community. We have live sessions that we do that Coach Sandy does and Coach Pastor Casey. We come together, we do meditation and prayer twice a month with Pastor Casey to get our week right and set our intentions for the month, make sure that our spirit is in alignment. Coach Sandy does self-care calls with us twice a month to make sure that we are checking in with ourselves and that we are incorporating our self-care in all the other yummy stuff that we're doing. And then Dr. Nicole and I hold a yummy call with the group every month to build community and really introduce new tools to help us unbind and unleash our unlimited potential.
We just did a session last night. Some of the folks are here. Put a 3 in the chat if you were in the session last night and it blessed your socks off.
Yeah.
Put a 3 if you were in our session last night in the yummy
Yeah,
section,
yeah,
right?
Toby
There are
was
about
there.
2
That's
people,
right.
1 or 2 people that
Yeah.
were there. Thank you, Terica.
Yeah.
So we come together once a month to be able to talk about these tools in business and relationships to really help us practice and guide our lives in the direction that is godly and in a direction that is going to yield fruit, not strange fruit, but good, meaningful fruit. Our portal is amazing.
Yeah.
It is content that not only you can watch over and over again, but it feeds your spirit, it feeds your soul, and it does something to be able to see us on the screens, right? Where it is a community for us, it's a safe place for us. Many of you have talked to us about being in the dating game at this point and the games that are played and how can you be intentional about how you date, and have talked to us about your marriage or your relationships with your significant other and being able to say, listen, we're supposed to build this mansion of a life, this dating experience that brings together good charactered people to partner with, but I don't have any tools on how to do that. How do I do that? And we said, we'll give you some tools that we know are scientific and proven to be able to help your marriage or be able to help you as a single woman that wants to attract health into your life and circumstance.
So we have included our 6-week digitals for couples and singles. We've tried to throw everything in this membership that you could possibly need to really start making the mind shift.
Yeah.
Right? To make the mind shift. And that is coaching, it's community.
Yes.
And it's connection. And for this yummy membership, for those of y'all been hanging in here with us this week.
Whoop, whoop.
I mean, y'all been in here, y'all been showing up and staying the entire time and really engaging with us. And so we are offering a special to all the new ladies, $97 on your first month and $197 a month. Our Yummy membership is normally $397 a month. We've discounted it. The first month will be $97 and then $197 a month. And you just use the code next level. Ariana will drop in the chat the link for you to join. Thank you, Ariana. She's on it, y'all. And we invite you to join the community. It's not just us. We've got an amazing community of coaches, and the ladies are the best of the best. The ladies in our community are the best of the best.
Leading, moving, shaking, making things happen. But let's say this as well. You know, we ask God to take us to the next level, and the next level does require change. And one of the things that it requires is new sponsorship, new mentorship, new allies, new mindset. And that new community is critical because you need other women to support you when your knees start to shake. You need other women that can say, oh, I got somebody that can help you with that. We have that in our community all the time, where a sister will say, you know what? I know somebody who can literally help you with that and do a great job. Let me send you over that resource. So being able to have tools, being able to have connection, being able to be in a space where other women are committed to you the way you're committed in doing what you do, is priceless. And when you go to the next, you need that.
Yep.
You need it.
Yep.
So we are looking forward to the possibility of being in community with you, of us being in community together. And honey, what a way to gift yourself for the holidays and be in a different space come 2024.
Yeah.
What
It's
a
your
way.
season. It's your time. And we come together and encourage one another. We hold one another accountable.
Yeah.
And it is game changing.
Yeah. And you know, we've got some people that are in here in the community. We could tell y'all everything. One of the things that we are so excited about is people are often like, no, seriously, what you see is what you get. They're like that on Zoom. They're like that in person. They're like that on social media. They're like that if you just see them in a restaurant in Atlanta. They are the same. They're consistent. But it's nothing like other women. Kelly's laughing. It's nothing like other women that'll be like, nah, for real. And they over deliver, right? They under promise consistently and over deliver consistently. So who in our tribe, we've not set anything up before this. We ain't asked nobody to do this. Take yourself off mute if you want to talk about
the community,
what the community has been for you.
This is Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi, everybody. It's been an unexpected support for me. Like, I knew from on paper what I was getting, but that doesn't even tell you. Like the slide y'all just had up, that don't tell you nothing about what you're getting.
Right.
It's the women, it's the like-mindedness.
That slide ain't telling you nothing. So funny.
And at the bottom of the slide, I think one of the last things was like the retreats and stuff like that. So we have opportunities to meet in person, and you will talk to these ladies on Zoom, on Skype, or whatever, and then you'll get onto like the WhatsApp to have that connection. You meet in person that first time, and it's just eye-opening the amount of love, the amount of support, emotional support, mental support, and support in whatever we're trying to accomplish from a business perspective. And what Nicole and Crystal said about there's somebody in the group who may be able to help you with what you're doing. Personally, for me, I'm trying to start another business, get a website updated, get a website out there. And there's people in the group who do that. That's their job. So they're my blessing. They're my resource that God put in my path to say, Kelly, I'm going to uplift you and help you get to that next level.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Appreciate that.
Anybody else want to speak? Come through. Take yourself off mute.
Bridget.
So I have been a part of working with Dr. Nicole and Crystal since about 2020. So for about 3 years at different levels. And the word that keeps coming up for me is accountability. Because when you are trying to access that next level, you will hit the terror barrier multiple times. But it is so critical to have that community to bring you back to center, to remind you of your gifts and your purpose. So they absolutely over deliver every single time.
Thank you, Bridget. We love you. Thank you.
We love you.
Thank you.
We love you. Thank you.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I am driving, so you know that this was not prepared, but I could not have this moment go by without sharing. I get speechless in these moments because I don't have all of the words to say what this experience has been. Working with Dr. Nicole and Crystal, it has been life-changing, not just game-changing, life-changing. It has allowed me to have the voice to fight back the voice of sabotage. I have personally have exceeded, not just met, but exceeded the expectations of myself. And it's because of the method. It's because of the tools. It's because of the community. The community is amazing. You really don't believe that it's possible to find women that are Black women that are as supportive, that are as encouraging, and it happens at an initial moment of meeting. You realize that you have a sister that you never had before. So it has been it is an amazing journey, an amazing process. And I could go on and on, so I'm just going to stop here. but I couldn't have this moment go by without sharing that this is very real. This is very, very real. So if you're one that's skeptical or that doubts or that's concerned, if you want your life to change, this is where you start.
Oh, thank you, sis.
Oh, thank you,
We
sis.
appreciate you so much. And
Can
one
I,
of yes.
can I jump in real quick? I know we're over time.
Hey,
Hey,
Terica, yes, yes, yes.
sorry, I'm not on camera. I'm nursing, fighting something today, so I'm in bed. But I didn't want me too. I didn't want this moment to go by. But I was just second what all my sisters have said, and it just makes me think about, I'm in a sorority. I also have biological sisters, but this supersedes that. I mean, I've had a situation recently that both of you all know that my sisters on here know about, that I reached out to the community about, and Crystal dropped everything across the world, on the other side of the world, to help me with that family situation. And it's all about the community and knowing, having resources and being willing to stand by your sister to help in those times of need. And so thank you again. I've told you that personally, but I will say that again here publicly. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sis.
Terica.
Thank you, Terica.
So we cannot say it.
I can wait.
And this Serene.
Oh, Serene, yes, come
Yes,
on.
because I just had a more recent breakthrough this morning after what Crystal said to me last night. I actually was crying this morning as I was realizing some things about me not processing trauma and grief together. And I've been sitting on it for years, just pushing it down. And even when I was crying this morning, I heard myself, this voice saying, "Why are you crying? Crying is for the weak." And I don't even know where that came from. So even that belief system, I needed that to get to a certain point, but I'm at a place where I can put that down. And one thing that this group does is give you the support to do that consistently. To the things that you like, I know it's okay for me to cry, but that voice back there, I just let a lot of stuff go this morning. And it was talked to my partner about it. My husband was really supportive about it, and just going to help move through what we need to move through to process what I'm going through. And I really had no plan on talking about that at all last night. It just hit me. And it just came out. So I was trying to suck it in until I got through Christmas.
The yummy girl.
Yes.
So what a
Praise
gift.
God.
What a gift. And you know what, Cerise? One of the things that's such a blessing in the community is that we talk about weight loss all the time. When you come into this community, you realize you are suddenly under your weight because you get to leave your masks behind. And those suckers are heavy. Those masks that we wear are heavy. And when you come into our community, you can leave them all at the door and just bring yourself. That makes all the difference in the world, so that you can heal, so that you can work through the grief, so that you can work through whatever identity challenges and trauma and drama and whatever is holding you back. It's amazing. Like we said, we couldn't find it, so we created it.
I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Cerise.
Cerise, you got me emotional over here.
Thank you,
Praise God.
Cerise.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
good. So good.
Oh, we love you too, sis. You all, we are 7 minutes over, and we've been really diligent to try and stay on time today, but the spirit just took over. And our sisters, we didn't ask them ahead of time. And we're just so grateful for all that they have shared. So hey, the next step is up to you, ladies.
Yeah.
We invite you to join us. We love you.
Gift yourself.
And we want you to experience what we've been experiencing. So that's what we're offering you, your ultimate, most meaningful yet. Happy holidays, ladies. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And we just wish you the best. Thank you.
God bless everybody.
God bless everybody.
We'll see you soon.
Yes. Bye-bye. Don't forget to watch the recordings. Bye-bye.